Hello, this is the trade site U.S. stocks and futures market preview for the week beginning Monday the 15th of July, ending Friday the 19th, 2019. Hope you had a good trading week. It's been a little slow, obviously. We had some gaps, some go nowhere days, and that type of thing. Feels a little bit like summer, doesn't it? This week is going to be an interesting one because it's options expiration week, so that never really leads to anything exciting. On Friday, maybe we get an options unraveling move, but it's usually one of the lightest unravels of the year over the summertime. So I don't know that we'll see that much on Wednesday or Thursday in terms of that. We are starting to enter core earnings season, which means you'll have a lot of stocks gapping at the open from the earnings releases the night before, and stocks in their group related to them will also gap. So it's a little more dangerous, and a lot of times you get these gap and sits while we wait for the next earnings the next night. So it's not always the best week of the year or close to it. Anyways, here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Got a 13 sell signal, seeker sell signal on the daily chart here. So we'll see what that leads to. Let's go through the major daily charts, then we'll look at the intra-week action, then we'll talk about the economic data that's coming out. So crude oil up 19 cents to 60.39 on Friday. Not a big deal. Gold up 11.1. S&P cash gains 13.86. Now, keep in mind here, while the futures have a sell signal in place, the cash index doesn't quite. This is actually on a 12th candle right here. So there's still another day or so up before you get to that signal there. And let me show you that actually in projection mode real quick. Oop, didn't work. That's interesting. Okay. NDX, the NASDAQ 100 up 46.46. Nowhere near a sell signal. No even count in place here on the NASDAQ. So it's only the S&P that's going to have the signal. Stocks up 28. Biotechs are down 45, and they've gone nowhere all year. The Russell 2000 up 12 also has gone nowhere all year. So it's a broad piece of the market has done nothing all year long. And it's just a couple of the big name leading stocks that have really carried the whole market. So that's not good for breadth and health of the market, of course. Usually doesn't lead to good things. The VIX down 54 cents. I think that's a new low close since way back in a couple days in April to 1239. The TRIN closes at 0.94. The 10-day moving average just under 1, so there's no signal there. NASDAQ volume was only 1.8 billion shares on Friday. You can see we're dipping in the volume area here as we get deeper into the summer weeks. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ plus 560, so more stocks up than down. On the New York plus 895, more stocks up than down. Google gains only a $1.26, which is obviously a blip for Google. Apple up a $1.55, also a blip. Netflix down 6.25. Never quite broke out of that range. This thing's been stuck for a while as well. Amazon new highs to up 9.93 this week. Actually was closed higher on Wednesday, approaching the $1 trillion valuation on Amazon. Unbelievable. Tesla up 6.48. Facebook gains $3.64. That's a new closing high for a while on Facebook. Goldman Sachs up 259, also finally breaking out of that range. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 15 cents after pulling back a bit. The Dow broke 27,000 this week. All right, let's look at the intra-week action. So this is the ES. We'll switch to 10-minute candles so you can see the whole week. So Monday, you gapped down, dead flat. Tuesday, gapped down again, came back up, and then dead flat. So the net of those 2 days, basically, from a trading perspective, was almost no action. Then Wednesday, we gapped back up, so we filled the gap from Monday, wiggled both ways, and closed basically right where we opened. Thursday, a small gapped up, filled the gap, and closed right where we opened. So again, the intraday action has just been horrible. Friday, obviously a summer Friday, gap up a little bit, and then dead flat until after lunch, then kind of drifted higher. So the net for the week is we did gain about 20 points on the S&P, but we were lower for the first 2 days and then banged around a bit. NASDAQ side, not much different. Gap down Monday. Tuesday, a little more action after the gap down, and that led to Wednesday's gap up and move. We closed higher for the week on the NASDAQ for sure. A lot better than on the S&P. So there's no signals in the market except for that S&P 13 sell signal that's in place. Let's take a look at the economic data that's coming out this week. So we've got the Empire State Manufacturing Index at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Got some Fed people speaking. Core retail sales Tuesday at 8:30, along with import-export prices. Then at 9:15, capacity utilization, industrial production. 10 o'clock business inventories in the NAHB housing market index. We got the Fed Chair Powell speaking at 1, and the tick long-term purchases at the close. Wednesday, housing starts and building permits an hour before the bell. Crude oil inventories an hour in. Fed Beige Book at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, we've got the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. CB leading index at 10, natty gas at 10:30. Friday, preliminary University of Michigan sentiment and some Fed members speaking yet again. So that is the week ahead. See what it brings. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.